So I am on the board of the Hour Exchange, and I'm here to talk to you today about something that we can do on a personal level in our own economies to help create the change that we want to see. As the Hour Exchange, we aspire to be a model for a community-based economic system that promotes local commerce, fair wages, environmental responsibility, and regional self-sufficiency, as well as neighborliness. How hours work. Hours are actual printed currency. I keep them in my wallet right next to my dollars. The thing about hours is they can only be spent locally with people who are willing to accept them or businesses who are willing to accept them. They are not an attempt to, at this point, replace the US dollar. I can't pay my rent in hours, at least not with the current landlord I have, and I can't buy gas with hours. I probably won't be able to. But I can use it to buy many other things, which we'll talk about later. Basically, hours allow us to barter among ourselves and with business owners in the area without having to trade directly. So if I grow asparagus and I want to buy perfume from Zach, but Zach doesn't want my asparagus, I can trade my asparagus to somebody else, and then I will get this from them, and I can pay Zach for his perfume. I cannot buy a brand new jacket per se, unless somebody bought a jacket they don't want, but I could pay my neighbor to fix my jacket for me. And 1 hour is roughly equated to 10 US dollars. They're called hours to remind us that they're backed by skills and time. The US dollar actually isn't backed by anything anymore. We just all use it, so it's worth something. By using this, we make it worth something. And a way that we kind of coordinate information about what's available to be purchased with hours is we have a quarterly newspaper. Looks like this. It's at many locations around town. And it contains listings found under classified section of services and goods that people provide. And people accept varying degrees of hours. Some businesses can only afford to, say, accept a half hour for every $20 purchase. But other places will take 100%. Or one day you can accept some and then you have too many, and so you say, I need US currency right now. And so it can change. Does anybody have any questions about how that works? These are some kind of broad societal questions that have to do with economics. We as a society dictate how we employ people, and then we dictate how we value their labor. For example, a corporate executive might get paid an exorbitant amount while somebody who grows your food gets paid a menial amount. And I guess that's a standard that the society has set, but I don't think it's a standard that has to remain. Because if I want to really support somebody I know in doing something that they love, then I can choose to support them. I can choose to employ them. I can choose to give them my economy and then give that economy back later. Yeah, I'll just leave those questions to think about for a little bit. By printing and circulating local money, we can use that value and that sorry.
I think you might be covering it right now, sorry. Well, I was going to ask how the hours band circulation began with, since, I mean, if you have to distribute money somehow.
Yeah, that's the main purpose of the Hour Exchange, is to print and distribute local currency. And so we finance the printing of the currency, and then every time somebody signs up to become a member, they pay a membership fee, a sliding scale of $7 to $30, and then they're issued 2 hours, or the equivalent of $20, from the Hours Bank. And so when a new member enters Hours, 2 more hours go out into circulation that have never been in circulation before, and they'll get stamped with a little embossed stamp on them. And then that way, we've fluctuated and changed. We've had like 3 hours or 1 hour for new members, and that's kind of to try to keep inflation under control. So yeah, they're put into circulation like that, and then how much good or how much money actually transfers depends on how many times they're spent. So if I just get my hour and I keep it, it doesn't really do the economy any good. But if I get my hour and spend it, then it can circulate more times and more money actually goes into the economy. Okay, so by printing and circulating community money, we support entrepreneurs, repairs persons, and other people seeking fulfilling employment. We can help keep our local businesses in business and spending their income locally. And we can also foster apprenticeships, create relationships, and share skills to network within the community, etc. And also change the way we think about money. And I'm sure, I don't have the statistics, but I'm sure many of you have heard that every dollar you spend in a big box store, a certain percent leaves and a small percent stays. But with a local currency, it can't leave. Some benefits that one might get as an individual. At least I have had an increased sense of community and feel that I can, when I need something, I know where I can go to get it. And if I don't, I can figure out who to ask to help me find it. That's something that a store doesn't provide me. You have control. It also teaches you a lot. You have the ability to challenge yourself to learn how money affects your life. Lots of intergenerational knowledge sharing, and it also helps to incentivize making time for something we love. So if I'm employed at a store, but really what I love to do is art, but I have to pay my rent, it's hard for me to incentivize working on my art if what I need to do is earn money. But since I can sell my art for hours, I can use that hours to buy food, and that then subsidizes my living cost. Yeah, so it's an excuse for you to do something you like. Quote. Feel free to ask questions at any time.
So are you saying, Alana, that like in the newspaper you have that lists like everything one might, or everywhere one might be able to spend their hours? And that's where you would go if you were like, I want money.
It would be super ideal if that was the case. As is, this lists all the members who have chosen to list their services. But I trade hours and do barter with people who don't list in the Hour Trader. We're also trying to figure out a way to, I'm sure there's a document camera, but a way to do this online, because a lot of people of my generation at least don't really know what to do when you see a phone number in here. You're supposed to call them and ask them if they'll take pictures of your birthday match. So we have a group on Facebook called the Hour Traders, and you can post, say, I have extra lumber, does anybody need it? Or I need a couch.
Did you personally have some success with like just you wanted something from someone and were like, how do you feel about hours?
Yeah. I mean, it's also encouraged me to really like when I'm talking with people and something comes up with, oh yeah, I would love to have some of your melons in your grocery store, and they don't know what hours is. It's an interesting, would you be willing to accept something that you can only spend locally? And it requires a bit of thinking there. But I've definitely had that happen. And there are people who don't say that they accept hours, like on signs or anything, but that will. There's several places at the farmer's market that will. It takes a little work. So on that point, hours.
Generally, a place like a farmer's market, I imagine they accept both dollars and hours. Do they generally map from? Sorry, you can say map. Do they generally have $10 strawberries equals 1 hour? Like they, for the same price? Like is it is the pay pretty close to the dollar?
Yeah, I mean, it's, by pretty much everyone in the community, this is worth $10 if they accept it. Although, to me, it might be worth more because I can get more with an hour sometimes than I can get with $10. But for trade purposes, one-to-one comparison, an hour equals $10. Yeah, whatever you're getting. That said, an hour is not as easy to spend as $10 because I can't spend it everywhere. We've already kind of covered this, but it requires you to think, and it helps you learn how, where, and who produces what you consume, and also enables you to ensure that fair wages and the practices you want to be used are supported. One thing I want to touch on real quick, I know I'm getting close to time here, is in the current market economy that we have, with industrialization came excess production. We were producing more than we could actually consume. So we had to, through advertising and media and planned obsolescence, objects that break and you have to buy new ones, we had to create increased demand for things that we don't actually need. In a local economy where, say, you employ a local currency to get what you need, you don't have producers producing an excess of goods, per se. You have people producing what's needed because you tell them what's needed. And also, an example that I would use is I was submitting an article to a book, and I needed it reviewed by somebody. I got somebody from the Hours Exchange to review my article for me, and they took way too many hours, way too many actual hours doing it, and were super detailed. But they give good feedback. But next time, I can ask them if they can do it quicker and not be as elaborate. So I can work with them again and build a relationship and have a unique way that's tailored to my specific interests to provide the goods and services that I need. Also, build relationships, and sometimes I just give stuff away and it comes back. So, yeah. I would encourage you all to pick up an Hour Trader. I'll put them in the back there. On the back of the Hour Traders, there's a membership form, and my contact information is there if you have any questions whatsoever.